one, that was a simple version of Silent Night in the key of C. And that's what we're going to be working on this week. And the idea of this lesson is not to play it exactly the way I just played it. The idea is to learn how to take a simple melody and to apply it. And here we'll be doing it in the key of C. So we're going to start by just going through the chords of Silent Night. It's very basic, and we're going to go through the chords, and here we go. Okay, so that's how I'm playing the rolls. Now, the reason I wanted to show you some very simple backup rolls is because we're actually going to use those rolls and the chords to construct the melody. So we know the melody of Silent Night. It starts on the fifth note of the scale, which in a C chord is the open G. So that's C, D, E, F, and G. So the G is the fifth note of the scale, and that goes like this. So the basic melody starts on G, G, A, G, E, right? So that's G, and the second fret is an A, back to G, and then down on the D string we're playing the second fret, which is an E, and it repeats. All right, then we move up into the G chord, and we play a D note. So we play a D down to the B, and I'm playing that at the third fret, playing a D on the second string. Then we go back to the C chord, we play a C, and that's just C back to G. Now we need to go into that F chord. Okay, so that was, we're playing in the F position. The middle finger is at the second fret, up to the C note. Then we take our finger off and play an open B, back to the A. And then this is that repeating phrase that we heard at the beginning. It repeats. Now we go up to the D. I'm playing that at the third fret on the second string. I'm sorry. So what was that? That was a D up to the F, which is the third fret on the top string there. Back to the D, open B, C, up to an E, or we could play the E here on the top string there. And then we end with. But we can't quite get to that low note, so we've got to modify this. We want to resolve on the last note, which is a C, but we can't get to the low C because our lowest note there is a D. So we're going to do something different. We'll go C, G, E, G, and then we'll go up. A, B, C. Okay, so that's the basic melody. Now, how do we put that into rolls? Okay, because obviously we're not going to play just the basic melody. So we know the chords, the 1, 4, and 5 chords. We know when to move into those shapes. We're going to try to use a forward reverse roll when possible, though there may be times when we need to shift our roll. So with those ideas, now let's try to build a roll-based melody for Silent Night. So where did we start? We started on G. Okay, so that's going to be the first phrase. It's going to start forward reverse roll on the G string. Just those three notes. But but we need to get to that melody note, and that's back there. And this is a little complicated here because we're playing a slow song, so we're going to play our thumb 2 times in a row. It's a little unusual, but we're going to have to do it here. Okay, so we were playing a forward roll and then hitting the thumb 2 times. 1 on G, and then fretting it at the 2nd fret and going to A. And then we were just going back into that forward reverse roll, only this time we were down on the E string there. Okay, so now we're going to move up to that D string. We're going into the G chord. Okay, so here's how I'm playing that. Hammer on from the 2nd to the 3rd fret on the 2nd string there. Right, so we're getting this note. That's a D. So we were doing that 2-3 hammer on, and then moving into a 2-3 slide with a forward roll. And then we're doing a forward roll into the C chord. And then we're going to resolve and back do that forward reverse roll. All right, now we need to go to the F chord, the 4 chord. All right, now if you try to do a forward reverse roll, you'll see that doesn't really work there. Because you'd have to, we need to get our fingers up to the 1st string there. The 1st fret, that C note. So if we do a forward reverse, it doesn't work. But if we do a forward roll, it does work. So see that? Forward roll, 2 forward rolls, and then so we're just getting that melody. We're getting 1st finger, 1st fret, open B, A with that middle finger, and then back into that forward reverse roll. Right? And there we're doing that same phrase that we did at the beginning. So now we need to get back up to that D. Okay, so that was the end. So we went back up to the 2-3. We're going into that G chord. Hammer on. That's just 2 forward rolls. And then we need to get up to the F note, which is right above it. Our ring finger goes to the F. It's just a little alternating roll. F, back to the 5 string, F, 5th string, D, 5th string, and open B, C. So we needed to go there from the C up to the E. And so the way I found it easiest to do was to have my index finger on the 1st fret, playing the forward roll, and then shift up from that 1st position up to the barred 5th fret. And there I can get that E note, which is what I want. And then we finish by just walking down. Sleep, sleep in heaven. And there again, we have to go up. So sleep in heavenly peace. Which is a little different from the way the melody would go. We would drop down to the C, but we need to go up because we don't have that low note. So that's the basic idea of Silent Night. Now, I'm doing it in the key of C because that's actually where a lot of people would sing it. But you could apply these same principles to the key of G or the key of D. I'm not going to go through it all the way, but I think this would be great practice for you, is to think, okay, I've done it in the key of C. Now can I find the melody notes in the key of G? So let's try it in the key of G. I'm just going to show the beginning. So again, it started on the 5th note of the scale, which then moves up to the 6th note and back to the 5th. Right? So 5th note of the scale is a D. Then we're moving up to the E on the 2nd fret above it. Back to the D on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. And then to the open B. Okay, and to remind ourselves, if we were to play a forward reverse roll, it would sound like this. So we could do that, but here, in order to get that D note, we really need to play a forward roll because it's on that 2nd string. So we could start with a hammer on. And I'm finding that hitting that E doesn't work very well there. But what if we did, we need to get that E. So what if we got it on the 5th fret of the 2nd string? So it went like this. There, and that's starting to sound like what we want. Okay, so that's the basic way to start in the key of G, right? And then what would we be going to? We'd be going to the 5 chord, and in the key of G, that's a D. Look for that melody note within the D chord. That's not quite high enough though, so we need to go up and shift up to the next higher D inversion, which is at the 7th fret, a barred chord. There we go, that's getting the melody. So it's just a little reverse roll, little reverse forward roll. There we go. And then into a similar roll, a reverse forward roll. So we would get there we can find the melody within that F shape of the G chord. So that's the basic idea, is to walk through, that's the way we do it in the key of G. In the key of D, we've got to find, all right, where's the 5th note of the scale in the key of D? So we start down in this D position. So D, E, F sharp, G, A. That's the 5th note of the scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, which means the melody would be here, starting on A. So that's A, B, A, F sharp. Now we'd want to find that in a roll though. So if we start with that position, that D-shaped position at the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th frets. Now, I think we'd want to, in the key of D, we'd want to spike it at the we want to spike our 5th string so that it plays an A, which is going to be a little bit cleaner. So let's try that again. Okay, there we go. We got that first phrase. And then in the key of D, we're going, let's see, D, G, and A. So we need to get up to the A. Right? And then we'd work through the melody in that same fashion that we did. So the idea here again is to be able to find the melody notes to a song that you know and be able to play it in the key of C, in the key of G, and in the key of D. And to work through and find those melody notes. They're going to be in the standard chord shapes that you know. So in the key of D, it's this D shape. It's going to be a G shape. It's going to be an A shape. Or I guess this is an F shape playing G here. And then the F shape up 2 more frets to play an A. And mostly the notes are going to be right within those chord positions, and you just have to look for them. So that's the idea, is to go through and learn Silent Night in those different keys, find the melody, and then work out a roll pattern. Sometimes you're going to find a forward reverse roll works for you and gets you the melody note, but sometimes you're going to find you need to do a forward roll and find the melody note that way. Or sometimes you might need to do a reverse roll if you want to get that melody note from the top string. So that's the basic idea of the lesson. I hope that's helpful, and work on Silent Night. It's almost Christmas.